So I was introduced to this by Shamila. She sent me a message on my thread just to ask if I can't just share some of my story. I also have like the different stages in my story. But like the lady said, I also prepared something here. But I think I'm just going to speak from it. So I'm truly blessed just to be here, just to stand with you guys. And I think it's with the grace of God that I've given this opportunity to stand here. And it's just to open a part of my life that I've been hidden for very long. So I've learned that when you go through pain, there's actually light at the end of the tunnel. I've been rejected many times, especially in my family. And I think my story needs to start there. So I grew up in a family where I was like a dash. So always the person that was never included in anything. I was always the person where we are four. So I've got the brother, two sisters, and then it's myself. So it was always them being there, I've been excluded. So that has always been part of my life. So the rejection there was always rejection. My achievements that I had was never celebrated. There was never anything that I did that was even good enough, because I was also the person like you that will say something's wrong. I would say that I don't agree with that. We need to try it this way. So when you have that voice, you will be excluded. I believe you will be excluded, you will be rejected as well. So when I got married, so my husband was Christian. So he embraced Islam, so I'm Muslim. So there was always something where that was concerned, because in our religion, once you move over to a different religion, you will be disowned. So that has always been, I think that was in the back of my parents, of their mind. If you're going to move over to the other religion, you're going to be disowned. So when I got married, I had to literally do my own wedding. So from the bridesmaids to my wedding dress to the reception to the cars, you name it, because we have the morning sign where the men come from the mosque. All of that I had to arrange myself. There was nothing that was where the family was included in all of that. So it was very heartbreaking. Because, I mean, when they got married, I've always involved myself. There was times where you need to give money, whatever. I was always included in all of those. But it was very heartbreaking for me to realize that with my partner that time, we had to do this on our own. So with us, we need to go, once we get married, the parents, the siblings, they go to your place and they will pack your clothes. None of that happened. So I had to physically do all of that on my own. So whenever I had any achievements, so I work in the banking industry. So all of that achievements, it was never celebrated. So there was always rejection. But I believe that God has always been with me. Every single step of the way, God has been with me. I would never have been able to do this on my own. I would never have been able to work through that rejection without God's presence. So His grace and His favor has always been bestowed on me. So that is definitely something that I believe. So after I got married, it still continued. The rejection still continued. They would organize things and I would not be included. They would only tell me afterwards you need to bring this. So that has always been there. And guys, it was ladies, it was I can't even explain how that felt at that time. But what I can say now, forgiveness. If you don't forgive, you won't be able to heal. I had to forgive myself for allowing all of these things to happen to me before I could forgive. And it wasn't easy, I can tell you now, it wasn't easy, that whole forgiving story, because you will forgive and then something happens, then it's a trigger, then you go back. So that is basically what happened for a long time. Then I got a dream. I had a dream, and at first I couldn't believe in dreams, to be honest with you guys. And it was difficult for me to understand a dream, I think. But I had this amazing dream where it actually told me in this dream that you need to forgive. And it started there with the forgiving. And I had some sort of a disease. It was ulcerative colitis. It's a very, very rare disease. So not a lot of people have it. So I was like the guinea pig, where they had to test which medicine, which tablets you can use for this disease to not to go away, because it's a lifetime disease. It's basically a lifetime disease. So with that, I was on chronic medication. I worked in the banking industry. Then something happened and I got dismissed. I got dismissed. So obviously, when you're in banking, you have medical aid. So my chronic medication came from the medical aid. And this time, I couldn't afford it anymore. Because when you get dismissed, you only get your leave that gets paid out. And there's a certain amount that you get paid out. But you don't get all the money unless you apply for the pension and all of that. But I left that. So I told my doctor that I won't be able to afford this medication because I don't have medical aid, and you know, it's a gastroenterologist, whatever that is. That you pay a lot of money to go see them. So I had so much faith. I had this disease since 2018. And I had so much faith that I don't have it anymore. And it started with me believing and forgiving. If I didn't because I sent my family a message to say, I forgive you. For whatever you have done to me, I truly forgive you. And I had to basically forgive myself in order to forgive them. So as I went through the process of believing, having the faith that I don't have this disease anymore, because this disease would go to cancer. If it's untreated, because I didn't have medical aid probably for 9 months. So not to have this medication for 9 months, it's long. Then this year, I went on to medical aid. I saw my doctor again. This year, I went back. I think it was now recently in August. The disease was gone. Yeah. And it was such an amazing feeling to know that this could have gone to cancer. Yes. I think that was my fear, that it's going to go to cancer, and it was just completely gone. And with that time, with the disease, you guys know COVID happened. So I had COVID extremely bad. Sure. One of this all at once. So I had COVID extremely bad. I went for the test, but I didn't go to the hospital. My husband was my doctor. He treated me at home. We got this oxygen tablets and all of that, and I got better, but it was bad in the beginning. So when I went for the test, it was positive. That was now before the dismissal. They told me I need to go for another test. I went for another test. It's still positive. The guy when I do the test, he actually asked me, "Did you not go to hospital?" I said, "No, I didn't go to hospital." He said, "But you were supposed to be under pipes in hospital. You were supposed to be treated like that, because that is why you still have it within you, the COVID, because you were supposed to be this oxygen pipes where I don't know what they do in hospital, but you were supposed to be there." And my COVID was gone. My husband treated me at home. So all of this is it's God's grace, it's God's favor.
Yes.
I've got this saying that I always use is rejection is God's protection.
Yes.
Rejection is redirection. So if we don't deal with our forgiveness, our healing within, we're never gonna understand that process, because it's only God that can heal us. Nobody else can heal us. And if we don't forgive ourselves, we're not going to have that to forgive somebody else. And I mean, we all go through challenges, we all go through failures. I mean, I'm still very young, and I've been through such a lot of failures, but I don't take it as failures, I take it as lessons. Because that lessons is what is making me grow. And just to leave you guys with this, I think this is very important, because when I was dismissed, I always said that I want to be a life coach. That has always been my dream. When you at work, they ask you, what do you want to be in 10 years? I want to be a life coach. I've given myself time to be a life coach when I'm late 40s, almost 50. And you know what? When I was dismissed, I was laying in bed and I saw this ad on social media. And I'm not somebody who apply for stuff. And I just went on to this platform and I applied. But that was God's grace telling me, you need to do this, because this is something that you want to do. And I applied for it, and I took the little money that I had that time and I paid for it. And at the moment, I'm an accredited life coach and NLP practitioner. And we have our plans. My plan was to do it in my late 40s. But God has God's plan and your plan is completely different. Because He has told me you need to do it in your early 40s. So it's just amazing if you believe and you have the faith, and anything is really possible. But it really starts, like I said, it starts with forgiveness. If you forgive, you will heal yourself within. And that rejection that you went through, that is really redirection.
True.
Yeah, but thank you, Shamila. I thought I would be nervous.
Okay, but don't worry. The lunch will be, you guys can be seated and they will serve it for you. So ik kan ons nog praten. Yeah, so julle kan so lang die koers uitdeel. But what I want to take from Fatima is, at that moment when you lose everything, because for me it was like I was in the high of my career. I was a civil engineer, I was there in the dams. I worked at Berg River Dam. I was a student engineer there, and then I went to Malawi, the mining, and I felt this is it.
Yeah.
Had the cars, had the houses, and I lost everything. But now I realized that had to happen. Because that wasn't it. I even said to my husband, am I done? What else must be done? And then in the past year and now, I now understand why I had to lose everything. Why I property I had to close my bank account, but I can't the fees afford the banking fees. You know, and moving back to your parents, it's embarrassing. But I let feel betaal in who don't know, you know, but everything happens for a reason. And I can already see now the small achievements that we are getting in the business. I can now understand why I had to go through that, to appreciate what is still coming. En soms raak ek 'n bietjie bang en sê vir my ma, jong, dis te veel, is te groot geld. As jy my my kind, is jou tyd. You know, so what happened to you, Fatima, and going in blinded faith with your sickness and illness, not knowing taking your loss money, not knowing how am I going to make money tomorrow. And that is the type of faith that keeps us going. And it's not everybody, almost, yeah, nie baie die hele tyd so het vir my hulle is 'n saak van gebed. It's true we want, especially if you have kids, school fees, and sometimes I always wondered how can people suicide. Wat is so erg dat jy jou eie lewe vat, but when you sell yourself go through it, dan verstaan jy van daar is jy uitweg nie. And that is why it's so important to surround yourself with people that went through, and not to isolate, because that is the problem what ek gehad het, I isolate. Ek wil nie meer uitgaan nie, I don't want to ask for help, and then you start thinking wrong things. And even the first event here, it took there because we didn't have work for months, and I said to Shamla, I can't even buy the ticket to come here, and I was sitting there right there. And I was still listening to you guys, and I said, and she said, no, just come. Somebody paid for you. And I came and I said, I needed to come. Because I needed to come out, I needed to just see other people, hear other people's story. En as jy ander mense se stories luister, dan dink ek, waarvoor jy? Hoor die mense se stories, jou stories, niks hier. So yeah, thank you each and everyone. Almal is regtig inspiration, and there's more coming. But enjoy your lunch, and in the meantime, you guys can go choose your little baggie as well. And then I think 2 o'clock we can start again. When die rugby begin 3 o'clock. Yeah, thank you. So the side is the little baggie.
So close and so far. Yes, close but far apart.